Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm making chicken and broccoli. So here I have chicken and broccoli with some fajita style spices. So you don't have to buy the fajita pack. I'm going to make it very similar in taste to fajita, but by adding a few spices that I'll show you later. So here I have 600 grams of broccoli. As you can see, they're quite large pieces. And I've been steaming it for 5-6 minutes in a quarter cup of water, boiling water I put in here. And I also put in 1 chicken stock. The chicken stock I use is a bit salty, so I'm just trying to mix it up with the water. So I'm just going to steam the broccoli for another few minutes until all the water dries out. And then we'll use it later for our chicken and broccoli. You see, I'm just going to put the lid back on, so it's completely closed with no spoon in there. So I'm just going to close that fully, and it was steaming like this. So I have 600 grams of broccoli, 1 chicken stock. The one I'm using has got a bit of salt, so I'll add less salt later, and a quarter cup of water. So it needs to steam for 10 minutes. It's already been steaming now for 6 minutes, so I'm going to give it another 4 minutes. The steams like that on medium-low heat. I have it on 200 degrees centigrade. It's a medium-low heat, and I'll come back with the rest of this video. Here you can see the chicken that I'm going to cook. It's 1 kilo of chicken breasts, and I've cut them into small cubes like this. So I'm going to put that on the hob next. I only have 1 hob, so I can only do it one by one. So I'm going to put this chicken on the hob next. This chicken, I wanted to get plain chicken breast, 1 kilo of plain chicken breast, but the shop only had this marinated chicken. It doesn't matter, it's good because it's already marinated. But if you're just having a quick meal, you don't need to marinate it. So this is the chicken, and I've cut them into cubes like this, small, medium-sized cubes. So you can use plain chicken. I just got this marinated chicken because that's all they had in the store, but I will be adding spices. I'll be adding the normal spices I would have added anyway, because chicken can take a lot of spice. Some meats, it's better to have less spice, like fish. Even red meat, you can do with less spice. But chicken, the more spice you add, I think the better. Chicken can take a lot of spice. It's better to have more spice in the chicken than less. I'm going to add some chopped onions here, 2 chopped onions. So I'm going to chop up these 2 onions, and I'm going to put it with the chicken. And I'm also going to add 2 red and yellow peppers as well, and 1 spoon of about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I've just turned the heat up to the maximum heat, high heat, because there's a little bit of water left. So I want that little bit of water to go. I want to get the broccoli dry because I'm going to add it later to the chicken. The broccoli is cooked and it's almost dry. It's got a little bit of liquid left. I'm going to take it off the hob in less than a minute. It's almost ready. And yes, it's almost ready. And then we're going to add it later to the chicken. You could add a whole kilo of broccoli if you want, because I've got a kilo of chicken. It depends on how many people you're cooking for. But I'm going to be eating this for the rest of the week. It's going to be like a meal prep. I'm just going to put it in the fridge in a big container and eat it for the rest, well, at least for 4 or 5 days. So, see, it's nice and dry. It's a little bit overcooked, but you know, I like everything overcooked. You could cook it for less time if you like your broccoli crunchy. Some people, they like it crunchy, but I like it soft. So there it is. Okay, so now I have the chicken on. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to fry this. I'm going to add the onions now as well. So I'm going to fry this with the onions. Okay everyone, I've added the 2 onions. I roughly chopped them up. So I've added the 2 onions. So I'm going to let this fry together for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to add in my 2 peppers. I'll show you the 2 peppers I have. They're orange, 2 orange peppers. So I'm going to be roughly chopping these 2 orange peppers. You can use green, yellow, red, any kind of peppers that you have. So these are sweet peppers, not chili. And yes, you just chop them up roughly, and we're going to put it in with the chicken and onions. After the chicken and onions have been frying for about 5 minutes, we're going to put these 2 in. So I'm going to chop them up roughly. You can put in 1 pepper if you only have 1. If you don't have it, you can't find it, this you can make it without, but it makes it taste a lot better with it. So the chicken and onions have been frying for around 5-6 minutes, and I just added now the 2 orange sweet peppers, and then I'm going to let this fry all together. You see how I chopped them up? I chopped them up roughly medium size. They're not too small. A bit bigger than the onions. Onions I chopped them up a little bit smaller, but they're also medium size. And you see the chicken pieces, I cut them into cubes. You can buy them in cubes in some shops, but you can cut them up easily. It's only chicken breast, it's very easy to cut up. And I've got it on high heat, the highest heat I have on here. So I'm going to let this cook together for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to add my ginger, minced ginger. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons, and I'll show you when I add that. Okay, now I'm adding in the minced garlic. I put in a lot of garlic because I like garlic a lot. You don't need to put in all that garlic. This is a personal preference. So I'm going to mix in this minced garlic. You can basically chop up 5 cloves of garlic and cut them into small pieces, as small as you can. Chop them up as small as you can. 5 cloves of garlic, and put it in with your chicken like this. So I'm going to slowly just mix it up. I put in a bit more because I really love garlic. You can add as much garlic as you like, but I would say at least 4 or 5 cloves you need to put it in there because it makes it taste very nice. And next I'm going to add in some ginger powder, a teaspoon of ginger powder. This is optional, but it makes the chicken taste very nice. Then a teaspoon, well, not really a teaspoon, it's more like half a teaspoon of ginger powder. You see, it's not even full, it's like half a teaspoon of ginger powder. We don't want it to overwhelm flavors in here. Now this chicken's probably been cooking for around 10 minutes. Your chicken may cook quicker because you might have a stronger fire. I don't have a very strong fire. This is on as high heat as I can get it. Your heat might be stronger, so your chicken might cook quicker. The most important thing is to cook the chicken thoroughly. The worst thing in the world is uncooked chicken. There's nothing worse, I think. And these spices that I'm adding, so now I added in a quarter teaspoon of, half a teaspoon of ginger powder. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of cumin next. Teaspoon of cumin or jeera powder. I'm going to add a tablespoon of paprika, sweet paprika. I'm going to add a tablespoon of paprika and a tablespoon of coriander powder. And that will make it taste like fajita mix. I'll put all the ingredients in the description box below. So next, I'm going to add in my cumin, a teaspoon of cumin. I'm trying to make sure the video is not too long. I'm just now adding a very tiny amount of pepper. I don't like pepper a lot. I'm just adding a very small tiny amount of pepper. Okay, now I'm adding in the cumin. I'm adding in a teaspoon of cumin. Don't add too much cumin. Cumin overpowers the food. So I'm only adding a teaspoon of cumin or jeera powder. Next I'm adding a tablespoon of coriander powder. 1 tablespoon of coriander powder. Next I'm adding 1.5 tablespoons of paprika. This is paprika. I'm adding 1.5 tablespoons of paprika. This will give it a nice color. So make sure you add 1.5 tablespoons of paprika. That will give it the nice color that you want. Now I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of mixed curry spices. And I'm going to mix all the spices together and fry everything together. So this is the last thing I will add before I add in the broccoli at the end. So I'm going to mix everything well together. And remember, if you don't have any of these, one of these spices is fine. Although this will give it a nice fajita style type taste, like a Mexican sort of style taste. If you're missing any of the spices, although I think the paprika, cumin and coriander is quite essential. But if you're missing it, it won't taste the same as this, but it will still taste nice. So even if you're missing any of the ingredients, you can still make this. As long as you have some sort of spice, onions and chicken and a bit of oil, you'll be good to go. And a bit of garlic. If you're missing any ingredients, it doesn't matter. You can still make something similar and it will still taste good. All you have to really make sure is this chicken is well cooked. So I'm going to mix this well together now. As you can see, the paprika has given the chicken a beautiful color. So I'm just going to let this cook together for at least 5 minutes until all the liquid is drained and the spices have been fried in the oil. Because you need the spices to fry for them to taste nice, otherwise they won't taste that great. And then in the end, I'm going to add in the steamed broccoli that I made earlier. So I'm going to mix this nicely together. It's almost ready. I'm going to put in the broccoli soon. After a few minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes, I'm going to put the broccoli in. Okay, I've just added in 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. So I've added in 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Soy sauce gives it a beautiful color, as you can see, and it's also a flavor enhancer for meat. Soy sauce goes very well with meat, especially chicken and red meat. So I added in a soy sauce, giving it a nice color, and it's very salty, so I put in about a tablespoon. So I won't need any salt added to my chicken. But if you don't have soy sauce, you can add in about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Make sure you don't add too much salt, or just salt to taste, however much salt you like in your food. That's what you add. So I just put in some soy sauce. I'm not going to put in any salt in my food because I've put in soy sauce. And I also put in 1 chicken stock with the broccoli earlier. And that had salt in it as well. So I won't be putting any salt in here. But if you don't have soy sauce or if you don't have chicken stock for your broccoli, you just substitute that with salt. I think 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt will be enough for the whole dish. So you add maybe 1/2 teaspoon in the chicken and 1/4 of a teaspoon in the broccoli. That should be enough. But you can add in more salt if you wish, or less. If you're health conscious, you can add in less oil. If you think this is a bit too oily, I put in about a tablespoon. You can put in less, or you can just spray a little bit of oil if you're trying to be healthy. Because it is a healthy dish. The only unhealthy thing in here is a little bit of olive oil I put in. So you can take that out. All the spices are good for your health. So these spices are all good for your health. You have onions, broccoli, red peppers, ginger, everything is good for you. lean chicken, no fat in this chicken. And as you saw, I used marinated chicken cubes. If you want, all the spices I added, you can add it to the cut up chicken cubes the night before with a tablespoon of lemon juice, and you can mix it all together and marinate it in the fridge the night before you cook the chicken, and then you just fry it with the onions and the peppers the next day. So you can marinate the chicken the night before and put it in the fridge if you wish, or you can cook it straight away. It's up to you. Okay, so next the broccoli is going to go in after a minute or two. Okay, next I've added in the broccoli, and I'm going to just mix this together very quickly for a minute or two, and it should be done. So I've just added in the broccoli. If you wish, instead of adding 600 grams of broccoli like I did, you could add a whole kilo of broccoli with the kilo of chicken, if you want to eat more broccoli. I love broccoli. I wouldn't have minded putting in a whole kilo. Maybe next time I will. Well, sometimes it depends how I feel. But today I've already added 600 grams of broccoli, and this will last me a good while. This is more than enough for a family of 4 or 5 or 6. But I'm going to be eating this for the rest of the week, for the whole week. This is my meal prep. You can add in less oil. This is a very healthy meal. And I'm going to eat it with some tortilla bread. I'll show you what bread I'll eat it with. So I'm going to have my chicken and broccoli with this tortilla. And I'm also going to cut up some lettuce. And I'm going to have it with some lettuce and some tortilla. If you're on a diet, you don't need to eat it with bread. You can eat it with quinoa. I'll put a video in when I next make quinoa. You can eat it with rice, pasta, whatever you wish. Tortilla. This chicken will go with anything basically. Chapati, pita bread. It will go with anything. So I'm going to have it with the tortilla. And you see here the chicken is almost done. It is more or less done. I'm just going to mix it up slowly together. It doesn't matter if the broccoli breaks inside. You can mix it in nicely if you wish. More or less ready now. I'm going to take it off the hob. And as I said, you can eat it with anything you like. I'm having it with tortilla bread. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to enjoy my chicken. So it's been cooking all together. The chicken was cooking for 15 minutes. The broccoli, I steamed it earlier for 10 minutes. There you have it. You can have your meal ready in 25 minutes. Healthy meal in 25 minutes. You can have it with rice, pasta, tortilla bread, pita bread, anything you want. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.